Welcome back. Schools That Can works to provide creative hands-on programming for learning, and on November 18th, they will hold their Pop-Up Makerspace event. Joining us with the details, we have Casey Lamb, Chief Operations and Development Officer, as well as Chelsea Chateauvert, Manager of Development and Events. Welcome, ladies. I was saying I love your colors today. We're all working with our hints of green, right? Bringing in fall colors. So tell us more about this program. It's so interesting what's going on with the Makerspace. You have so much going on this year. Casey, why don't you begin by telling us a little bit about the organization?
So Schools That Can, we've been around for a little bit over 10 years, and we started as an organization that was identifying and celebrating high-performing and high-potential schools across sectors serving low-income communities. So we have charter, district, independent, faith-based schools. We share practices, and we, over the last few years, have really defined our focus on what we call real-world learning. We just published a rubric last year that defines what real-world learning is for schools, but it includes things like partnerships with community organizations, hands-on real-world learning experiences in classrooms, a more holistic vision of student success, connecting education to employment, and having public displays of authentic student work. And our Maker program is really one of our sort of signature programs that highlights real-world learning in schools. We run a fellowship with teachers from 5 schools across the New York City, across 4 of the 5 New York City boroughs, and we provide training, curriculum, and support for them to run maker spaces in their schools. And last year we decided that we wanted to open this up to the broader community and show others what maker education is all about. And so Chelsea sort of spearheaded that effort, and we hosted one last spring, and this is our second Maker Pop-Up.
So Chelsea, what can we expect for the pop-up space?
Oh my gosh, lots of fun-filled learning. Everything is hands-on, like Casey said. It's all related to the real world, something that students need to learn early on so that they can be successful once they graduate high school, get a job, go on to college, whatever they choose to do. But the projects that they'll do in the makerspace can be anything from paper airplane making to LED bracelets, virtual reality experiences, things that are very natural and relative to the 21st century and the world that these students will inherit. So
I'm guessing a lot of technology is going to be
yes.
involved in this.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really excited this year. It's hosted at Google's offices, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they've been super supportive. We've got a lot of supporters. One of the companies that works with us, organizations for after-school and in-school programs, is joining us, Maker State, as well as architectural firms and an ad agency. So we've got a lot of different organizations coming to help out this year.
How are you recruiting for the students?
For the Maker Pop-Up in particular, it's through our schools, and also we have a regional advisory board, and they have sort of put the word out to their friends and their families, and they're bringing their kids as well. So one of the things that we're really excited about is it's going to be a real sort of cross-section of our community. We'll have students from STC schools and Upper West Side schools working side by side to make these activities.
And what's the age range? I see that you work from what? Is it like elementary to high school?
Yeah, Schools That Can works from pre-K through 12, but the pop-up is for kids ages 4 to 11. So we like to work with our young makers for this program.
So just getting their creative juices flowing early.
Their parents can come and participate and watch, so everybody gets a little bit of learning.
So talk a little bit about the mission. What inspired this, and why do you think it's so crucial to introduce this to our children early?
So Schools That Can, our mission is to reimagine education through real-world learning that closes the opportunity and skills gap. And we have a vision of a cohesive education to employment pathway that starts in kindergarten, or pre-K even, as Chelsea said, where early on we believe it's important to ignite passions in students, and the way that you do that is through hands-on activities and give them the chance to test different kinds of learning out, and once you've ignited that passion, then give them the chance to explore it in the middle school space. So by high school, they should know what they want to pursue and be able to maybe participate in a more intensive internship, because really by the time you hit 12th grade, if you don't know what you want to do, then it's too late in some ways. college, we just heard the financial literacy, about the financial literacy workshop, and we know how important it is to understand the investment that you're making in college, and we want to help kids before they have to make that decision figure out, how does college fit into all of this for me? What is the passion that I want to pursue in my life? So we start early.
So and how long has the program been running?
The Maker Fellows program has been running for 4 years. We just did this first community pop-up like this last spring.
And tell me, how have the students, what's been the feedback from the students and their parents?
Oh, well, the first pop-up was such a success. It was a small group, but everybody had a really great time. They thought this was something they'd never experienced before, and we're so thrilled to have been able to participate in an event like this. And last year, our event was, roughly 30 kids, and this year we're already over 100 participants, and I think we've got something like 50 students are coming. So it's definitely something that we hope to grow, and that will continue to bring in more enthusiasm for maker projects and education. So.
Do you
And we
see,
just,
oh, go ahead.
we hear so many stories from the teachers who are running the programs every week in their schools also, of students who, like a teacher just told me the other day about a student who has physical and cognitive disabilities and who really lacks confidence in the classroom and actually struggled with some of the programming aspects of the program that we ran earlier in the year. And then the last series that they did was a rocket science challenge. And she just, when she came out and was able to do hands-on activities and actually build things, they just saw her confidence flourish, and she was able to assert herself more in class.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. Like, do you see it helping them in their general studies as well?
Yeah, and another teacher told us about a student who, so she learned, one part of the program is they learn Scratch programming and they create video games. And she was able to use the skills that she learned from that to apply for a film-based summer camp to learn more about animation. And so that's a way for her to, again, explore an interest that she's developing and pursue beyond school. So we have a lot of examples of kids really just tapping into an interest they didn't realize and developing confidence and skills that they didn't know that they had.
And are you introducing them to all areas or different fields of like business, the arts, medicine? So it's touching on like different fields of study?
Yes.
Yes, yes. And this program, so we actually just won a National Science Foundation grant to expand the Maker Fellows program in particular. And so we're going to be working with the Research Alliance out of NYU as well as Maker State. And that emphasis is really on computer science and bringing it into the science classroom.
So a lot of STEM
Yeah, for
programming.
sure, for sure.
Yep.
But we have, in our other programs, we connect students to all sorts of different career pathways. We have a STC Career Skills program that we run in Newark, where we have partnered with a high school to build out a manufacturing pathway, and we're starting to partner with another high school down there as well to build out a pathway focused on supply chain management. And then we also have, we run an education to employment event where we bring together local companies and we connect them to students so that they can go out and do a job shadow. And there's a wide range of externships that are provided through that, so kids can learn about advertising or technology or health sciences or whatever they're interested in.
There's so much information and
Yeah.
so little time. But how can we, parents who are interested in this for their children, how can they get involved?
The pop-up is currently advertised through Eventbrite, so you can go on there and sign up and join the wait list. Unfortunately, we've sort of reached capacity at this point, but we're hoping to be able to expand to more. And if it goes well, we'll do another one in the spring. So we'll definitely make sure everyone knows about that. But they can find it on Eventbrite. It's the Schools That Can Pop-Up Makerspace, and it's on November 18th.
And if people are interested in getting involved with Schools That Can more generally, they can just go to our website, schoolsthatcan.org, and there's ways for them to get involved as a school or join our newsletter or donate or whatnot.
Excellent. Thank you so much, ladies. Great program.
Okay, thank you.
We have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open.